Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, McCoy murdered a bunch of people, apparently.
Maybe.
How cool
Probably not.
How cool would that be if he did?
He'd be like Scotty and gets away with it.
Exactly. What I'm learning from this is that anyone could do any horrible deed on the Enterprise, and like Kirk would let it slide for some reason.
And he'd also find a way to prove they didn't do it.
Just on like the basis of like, no, he's a good guy. No, it's just like.
Scotty would never kill those women.
No, McCoy would never commit a plague. He would.
As he's conveniently shoving like photographs in a furnace.
Right? We also got Kirk memes, which was nice.
We did, yes.
Yeah. Alright, today we're on the second to last episode of Star Trek, the animated series, the second to last of season 2, second to last of the whole show. Today's title seems to be our World is Hollow and I Touch the Sky title. It's a pretty long one. We got How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth.
How sharper than a serpent's tooth?
Yes. And I think that's some kind of quote, isn't it? I could be
it's
wrong.
It sounds like it has to be one, right?
Or maybe it's one of those things that sounds like some kind of like Shakespeare quote, but it's just not.
It's not. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to get into post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth. You know, I hate being right, because I'm afraid of sounding dumb on these recordings. So part of me wanted to be like, oh, it sounds like a Shakespeare thing. I think I know that quote. And it is a Shakespeare quote.
And you don't say it.
And I don't say it on the recording, but I said it, you can attest, I said it to you right after we recorded that intro. I was like, man, maybe it's Shakespeare. I think I'm right. And I fucking was. I didn't say it on the recording, but here I am now.
Okay,
this episode was okay.
The reason you don't say these things is because every time you've been confident, you've been wrong.
Exactly! I don't trust myself with Star Trek, man. I can't win.
So this episode had not a god, for once.
Not a god, yeah. Well, because it's that... Look.
Go on.
Look. Star Trek is completely fine with acknowledging other gods outside of the Christian god existing, as long as they're not based on real gods. If they just make up a cosmic entity and call it a god, they're like, oh yeah, that's a god, definitely.
That's sort of like...
But this one, they're like, this guy came down to Earth civilizations and became a god to them and all that. But they're like, no. He's not really a god, though. Trust me.
1970s America. Don't freak out.
Don't worry. This one's not really a god. But the one that wanted to make Abraham Lincoln, that was a god.
The one that was a child just wanting to play with Kirk and the crew.
Yeah. That one was a god.
And had god parents.
Yeah. But this one, no. We can't acknowledge that any real Earth mythical being god can exist. It's just...
I mean, whatever.
In a universe where gods are so common, too. Like, it's a joke, but they truly are just everywhere, apparently.
Yeah. I think that's the best part. You just stumble across one every other week in Star Trek.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a character in this named Walking Bear.
Yes. Which is hilarious, first off.
We say it's hilarious. The idea is that it's meant to sound like a Native American sort of sounding name.
Yeah, and he's got, like, Mayan... ancestry, I suppose.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, I sort of get that. And actually, it's not a horrible handling of the situation. Nice job, Star Trek.
Probably because they didn't focus on it too hard.
I mean, it's the entire focus of the episode.
Well, I mean, like...
Walking Bear.
Yeah, I mean, his relation to it.
Yeah, but, whatever. Let's see. Man, I loved the design of Kukulkan.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
they pronounce it like Kukulkan or Kukulkan.
They said it
and my mind went to Doctor Who's Marco Polo, and I was like, Kublai Khan. And there's a Star Trek character called Khan, and sci-fi's annoying, man.
Yeah. But design-wise, like they clearly based it off of the actual like art that exists on this god.
Yeah. Granted, very colorful, much more colorful, I think, than typically portrayed.
Right, but I mean that's kind of the point when you say, oh, this was a real being that influenced ancient Earth cultures.
Yeah.
The idea would be that it doesn't look exactly like its artistic depictions.
Yeah. You know, like, I watched him play Scotty for like 3 seasons straight on TOS, and I was like, that's just who James Doohan is. I didn't realize he had such a fucking range.
I know.
Like, the dude is so good. Like, we joke all the time about it, like, oh, he's every character in this show, but he is. And there are times like you just don't know it.
Yeah.
Like, he makes like genuinely distinctive voices a lot of the time.
Like, let's take this episode for example. They're in a zoo, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You got the God, you got Scotty, and you got Walking Bear.
Yeah.
I joked there are, what did I say, 5, 6 characters in this room,
Yeah.
and 3 of them are James Doohan.
Yeah, yo, it's crazy. He's like legitimately so good. I don't know, I love it. I just find that really funny. I don't know. Also, there was just a bit where I feel stupid for even calling it out, but I just want to. There's a bit where Kukulkan goes, "Something's wrong." He's like, "Something's wrong," and I always joke about the fucking Ghostbusters rap.
Yeah.
It opens up with "There's something strange going on. Something's wrong," and just the way that Doohan delivered it in that moment, I was like, "Something's wrong."
Hey, I laughed at it too, so it's all good.
I don't know. It was great. Man, I didn't really feel much towards this episode, to be honest.
No, especially because like his goals keep changing through the episode.
Yeah.
Like they do the supposedly perfect city he wanted all these societies to build.
Yeah.
Like they solve the puzzle, and he shows up like, "You must hate me."
You hate me, right? No, please. You hate me, right? You just
and then they're like, no, and he's like, "Explain."
Explain. You should hate me. I don't know. And also, it's taken me 21 episodes, but I gotta call this shit out because I keep noticing it, especially in season 2, because season 2 started crediting directors right out the gate in episodes.
Yes.
It used to be just, title, writer, now the episode.
Yeah.
But now it's title, writer, and director as well. But every single episode ends, the credits start rolling, it says directed by HAL Sutherland. Bitch, no it's not. You straight up told me in the first minute that it's not. So what is... obviously, they're just using the exact same credit sequence for every single episode.
And that's the most TAS thing I've ever heard.
Right? You got the credit sequence once. Why do you gotta make any more? You don't gotta change the credits. You don't have to credit guest stars. You don't have to count the other characters that our main cast plays. Like, no, they're not there. They're just
they're not important.
You got one credit sequence. That's all you need. It's just
it's the cheapest way to save money.
Yeah. Anyway, next time we're gonna finish this insane show, and I'm excited for it, and also kind of sad, because wow, our time with these characters is really coming to a close.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking sad. Like, it's really setting in for me, like, lately. Like, I was at work the other day, and I was like, man, I don't have that much time left with Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. I was like, no, that's just...
We hardly knew thee when it began, but I feel like I've known them for ages.
Oh, man. Anyway, be sure to join us next time when we finish Star Trek the Animated Series. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.